I am joined now by Yuping Bao and Bruce Dunn. They are two of the MRS meeting chairs. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. So let's talk about the week so far. What would you say are the highlights for you?
There's a lot of highlights. First of all, there's been a lot of energy. I know that's a major topic in the symposium anyway, but there's been a lot of energy here. And part of the reason is because we have the symposium's been set up, so there are a number of symposia that what we call legacies. They've been going on in the past. But there's been a whole host of new ones. And that has brought a real enthusiasm. And for example, there's new ones in the water energy nexus, which is a critical issue. There's a new one in quantum materials.
In bio, normally you'd always do like a drug delivery, bioimaging, but this year we had a whole topic on synthetic biology. That's a whole new field. You're using synthetic tools to create new materials. That's bringing a lot of energy to the bio clusters.
That's fantastic. And also we want to talk about broader impact events that are obviously of importance here at the meetings. What stands out to you about those in particular?
And to me, I'm an international scientific researcher. The green card for scientific research really caught my attention. And they are so helpful to the student, to the researcher. They don't have to worry about, they know things what they are expecting in order to continue working in the scientific field. Not only that, I was at the talk for preparing for for your next job interview. They brought these HR professionals. The points they are talking about are just so deep, so practical, and there's a large crowd over there and very helpful to the students. The last thing I want to highlight is the ABET accreditation. Normally people don't care about that, but it's such a big thing for young faculty. It took me 7 to 8 years to really understand that concept. Now if you have somebody that are professional to tell you the process, it's really helpful for the young faculty.
And how important is it for these types of events, coinciding with some of the technical sessions?
So along the lines of the broader impact, there is an actual symposium that's related to ethnicity, diversity, and problems with underrepresented groups and so forth. The symposium's packed. It's the first one of its type to be developed and so forth and presented, and it's really, really working. So that's very exciting that we're really doing something new here. I'm sure it's going to carry on.
Well, that is wonderful. And some of the things that you've discovered along the way, because this is a journey that's been a couple of years in the making. Talk to me a little bit about some of the things that have evolved for you in the process.
A lot, I suppose. The idea that, first of all, this takes a long time. And you have to do a lot of planning, a lot of planning ahead. And at the end you say, gee, we should have started that a little bit ahead of time and so forth. We wanted to do some things that were kind of novel, and we didn't do everything that we wanted to do that was novel. We kind of ran out of time, and the coordination and so forth. But we did do enough that was novel, and so that part was very good.
And I feel like along the way, the MRS staff are really, really helping. For us as meeting chairs, we just focus on the technical side, and that's really, really helped to keep things going.
Well, as I mentioned, this is a couple of years in the making, and it's volunteer. So what made you each decide to step into a role like this at this level?
So throughout my career, I've always been one who feels very strongly about giving back to the institution, giving back to professional society. You have to. This is how these societies and institutions, how they work. You have to donate your time, and you have to give back. So I'm just giving back.
For me, I'm a material scientist by training. I started with this society since graduate school, and this feels like a home society. I really want to make this stronger and broader every single year. That's is important. And also, I'm still at the early stage of my career. This exposure is great, and also it's a representation of your institution as well.
Well, that leads me to my next question, which is, as MRS meeting chairs, do you notice a benefit in your career as a result of having a position like this, or have you noticed?
Only in the sense of when I'd see friends, like, oh yeah, Bruce is doing that.
Something to talk about.
That's right.
What about you?
I think it's very, very beneficial for me at this stage of the career. Not only professionally, also networking. You get in the field, you know a lot of people. And it's you give your chance to thinking about at this stage what next, at the next level of the material, what you want to do. At the meeting chairs, like Bruce said, we are able to shape, to mold what we want to do for the meeting. And this really give you time to thinking about not just yourself as a mature society, what can you do at home.
Well, we like to ask, what advice you have for future meeting chairs, but I'm going to rephrase that for you. And what advice do you wish someone had given you?
Know your co-organizers really well, so that the break-in period where you're getting to know everybody, so it goes very, very quickly. I think that's very helpful. I think once we really begin to know each other, and then we can have really fruitful discussions, extremely helpful.
Yeah. What about you? Plan early. Like Bruce said, we are thinking a lot of new ideas, a lot of things, but at the end we couldn't do it. And especially thinking about we invite someone, give a talk, that's it. No, the communication part takes a long time. Some of them may not fit into their schedule. Just start early, plan early. That's very important.
Well, congratulations. It's been
Thank
a
you.
fabulous week. Yu-Ping Bao and Bruce Dunn, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
MRS TV has all the coverage you want with the big newsmakers. Be sure to check out our content, which is updated each day here on YouTube from the 2019 MRS Spring Meeting here in Phoenix.